What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Diesel Dog video. Got another Jeep project in the garage. This is not my own. This is a buddy's. This is a 2009 Jeep Wrangler with a 3.8, and it's got a little bit of a fire issue going on under the hood. And no, I'm not talking about this tire. As a lot of you Jeep owners know, they're kind of weekend rigs. Some of you guys daily them, some of them are half and half, some of them just sit around so you want to use them on the weekend or whatever. Well, this is kind of a weekend rig. And when you don't drive something very often, animals tend to make nests or burrow themselves or chew up wires, you know, if they're sitting a while. Anyways, had a bird's nest on the engine manifold down in there. It caused a bunch of damage. Started on fire. He got halfway across town or whatever, or wherever he was going. Smoke started billowing out. Luckily, someone had a fire extinguisher close by and was able to put it out with pretty minimal damage considering what could have happened. But we're going to try to fix this up for him. We got some parts, we got some melted stuff, we got some wiring harnesses we need to fix up. So we're going to get started on that and see if we can't revive this thing, get it back on the road for him. So let's take a closer look at what we got going on here. So down in here, this area is where our fire started. As you can see, our brake master cylinder, it's just all melted up. We got some wiring that's all melted. You can see up here, these wires. It looks like the loom, the plastic loom, took the brunt of the melting. The wires aren't like bare, so I think we're fixing this. I got some pigtails to fix the cellar stuff. Our main problem is going to be the ABS wiring here. This harness is no longer available through the dealer. Discontinued. None available in the country, apparently, according to my guy. So then we got some spark plug wires. It looked like they melted. You know, we're gonna pull all this apart, assess things. You can see the ABS mounting bracket. This is all one piece here. It's melted. So we're gonna back this out first. You can see where all the stuff from the fire extinguisher is all caked on here. I think if we get it backed out, wash all this off, we can get a little bit better assessment of what we're all gonna need here. Then once we get all our parts, I can get cracking on this thing and see if we can't get it back on the road. So I went ahead and pressure washed the whole engine, and honestly, after washing it all off, it doesn't look as bad as you'd think. Like I said, we got some wiring going on over here. I think I can repair some of these pigtails. I think I can just get an alternator. You can see up to the alternator, the wires are pretty good, but down here they're melted into the harness. So I think if we can get a pigtail here, looks like the AC compressor pigtail's melted. The pigtail for the low brake fluid sensor here, it's pretty charred going into the ABS harness, and that's going to be an issue there because, like I said, it's discontinued. I don't know if I'm going to be able to repair that. We might have to find a junkyard one. The mounting bracket for the ABS module, it's pretty melted down there, and that's all one piece with the washer jug and everything. So I'm gonna have to replace that. Obviously, we're gonna have to replace the master cylinder and reservoir. The brake line, some of the paint came off, but I don't think the lines are gonna be an issue. You're gonna have to get a steering shaft. It's pretty melted down there. I wouldn't trust trying to grease that up or anything and reuse it. We're gonna have to replace that. Down here, you can see the oxygen sensor. It's pretty melted, so we're gonna put a new sensor on there. The pigtail for it up there, the connector, I don't know if that's super melted. I'm gonna have to check that out when we get there. It's kind of down in there. We're gonna put some spark plug wires. They're pretty melted up there. I don't know if I'm gonna do spark plugs themselves yet. We'll see. We'll pull it out, see how bad they are. Maybe we'll just do a full tune-up for this guy. I'm surprised that these AC lines right here are not super melted. Everything looks pretty good there. I think it was just kind of concentrated right here, and just gonna take a little fixing up, and I think it won't be as bad as one would think. The other thing we'll have to address is the fender well. You can see it melted pretty good right there. It's drooping down, it's all melted up. So I'm gonna get some new plastic for in there, fix her up nice. And ooh, what's that? Uh-oh, we got another, looks like the ABS sensor wire down in there. I didn't see that before until I washed it off. We're gonna have to find a repair kit for that, unless that's part of the the harness up there, but we're gonna have to figure something out there. So that's my game plan right now, just kind of piece together everything that needs to be fixed and then start wrenching on this thing and see where we get with everything and what we might be able to get by with. I know he did have it at a dealer and they quoted him quite a bit of money, and I'm not saying that to say, oh, the dealer was trying to screw him. If I was doing this as a professional job, which I'm not saying this isn't professional, I'm saying that this is just, we're gonna get him going here. But, you know, if you're in a situation where you need to cover your ass, you're probably gonna replace everything that fire may have touched. So they had like almost everything quoted as replacing. I don't think it needs to go that far. Some of the stuff they had quoted, I don't even see where fire really touched it. So I'm thinking all the stuff I kind of listed there we can get by with, and it'll be good enough to get them on the road and be able to drive safely and no worries. Got our first round of parts here. This is some dealer stuff I had to get. These are our fender well pieces here. I got some pigtails, but I am looking at it now and realizing I'm needing a couple more pigtails. I'm gonna have to source. And then this is our big washer, solvent jug, ABS module bracket, kind of conglomeration here. PCM goes right here. So this is all gonna be like wheel well stuff right in there. I don't know how it all comes apart. I'm not a Jeep guy per se, so I'm gonna have to figure this out, but it shouldn't be too hard. Alright, one melted piece. Looks right. That's one piece. The other piece they got me, I mean, doesn't necessarily look bad. Well, it's kind of melty. We might as well change it. Went ahead and pulled the fender all the way out because this is the plastic, other plastic piece. Underneath here, we need to separate that, and that's that piece right there. So fender came off, and we can deal with that. But it works out because it opens up things pretty good in here for us. This is the bottom part of that washer jug assembly, whatnot there. You can see we got some frame charring going on here, so we can spritz that with some paint. That opens it up there. And looks like the ABS wire here, which that might get addressed when if we find a ABS harness. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do there because I'm having trouble locating one. So yeah, there we go. We can clean this up. Start working on getting this ABS module bracket washer jug assembly out of here. Probably just gonna pull these loose. Well, I have a pocket screwdriver. There it is. Got a ground here. I think I'm gonna pull that loose. Just to get things out of the way a little more. I don't necessarily know if it'll interfere, but stick it on our tool tray there. There we go. Okay. There we go. That kind of opens things up a little bit more. Got this. A little connector down here. All kinds of goodies on this thing. Nice. Well, can't say this is the most fun thing I've ever done. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can get it out without having to pull this all the way out of there, but I don't know. It's kind of tight here. Well, is it out? Yes. This is my floor full of washer fluid. Also, yes. I suppose we could try to get our... Look at that crap. Try to get our master cylinder off here. Might as well. Might as well deal with that. What's coming out of there now? Well, whatever. Question is, how easy are these lines gonna come off? Oh, that's... Well, okay. That one ain't bad. I can smell burnt plastic down in here. If you get your sniffer right in here, it's pretty potent. It's a miracle this thing did not burn to the ground. Got lucky. Oh, man, if that ain't a good sound. Man, that just never goes. Oh, there's a spider. I don't do spiders. Nope. Nope, out of here. Skedaddle. You get bit by a brown recluse, you get a little touch of the arachnophobia, let me tell you. Just go ahead and let that brake fluid bleed right into the washer solvent. It should mix. Only a little bit of, ooh, it's nasty in there. What size, 13? Ooh. Can get a pretty good look at this ABS harness here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do anything with this. I don't know. Picking back up here a couple days later, I'm gonna go ahead and get this steering shaft off. I got a new steering shaft. The O2 sensor down here is gonna come off, and then I think I'm just gonna pull the plugs out, and then replace plugs, and then probably change these wires one at a time so I can match up the lengths and stuff. Nice thing is on this coil they're numbered 2, 4, 6, and you got 3, 1, 5, so tells you exactly where they need to go. If you pull them all off at one time and go back together, you can kind of figure that out a little bit better. That's nice. So I'll get this thing completely apart, and then we'll have to start assembling at some point and figure out what else we need. Looking like we got a couple 13s here. Hopefully these come loose. Stuff like this typically has like Loctite on threads that you contend with, but coming off. Oh, that hurt. Man, no one wants to get hurt on a Sunday. That's just not fun. Alright, I'll see how easy this thing's gonna... Oh, well. Let's see first, maybe. Alright, there's that. Oh, slid right out. Look at that. Good. Look how melted that is. I was afraid it wouldn't slide back in due to all it being charred and stuff, but I mean, it's definitely not. It's messed up for sure. Oxygen sensor time. Get right to it through the wheel well being out. You know these never come right out. Oh my gosh, that's a good sound, but didn't feel good on my elbow. Ow. Whew, okay, now she's moving. Just gotta earn it. Sometimes you gotta earn it. Alright. Went ahead and pulled the plugs. They don't look terrible, but they don't look great either. So I'm glad I got spark plugs to change those right away at the same time. And you just kind of see they're kind of getting corroded and nasty looking, and I think it's time to change them anyways. So other than pulling the plugs and wires on the other side, we've pretty much got everything I need disassembled. So like I said, we got some pigtails, and we're gonna have to try to do something with this wiring. And it's looking like it's gonna be a project, but I think we can get it done. So I'm gonna wrap up this video here, kind of do a part 1, and then I'll do a part 2 trying to get this thing running again. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Is this thing gonna run? Or am I gonna run into some gremlins that are gonna pop up and not realize that have other issues? But I think we're gonna get it running. I never give up on any kind of thing. If I start something, you don't finish it till it's fixed, no matter how frustrating it is. So we'll do something with this thing. We got some more parts coming, and yeah, we're gonna get cracking on this thing here shortly again. So thanks guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.